Oh, here goes. Chorda. Have mercy, our families are starving. We only took a couple of Nutri-bars. Lies. I see clearly with my naked eye the corruption that has engulfed your nature. Only the cleansing fire can absolve you now. Guilty! Jeez. Lady, calm your up the crackers. Oh, wow! This guy's taking it rather well, though. Okay, so welcome back to another video. So scary thing is I've actually taken a couple of days off from recording because I have been busy and I have forgotten where I am. But when I booted it up and seen that the enemies of humanity are waiting to be killed, I was like, aha! I remember where I am. And then promptly forgot. So we're going to attempt to kill the enemies of humanity. We're going to fail at the very beginning of this video. Like and subscribe. Oh dear me. Yeah, we're gonna fail at the very beginning of this. So if you don't know, I actually record in batches. It's easier that way because then I sit on a Sunday and I edit and do everything by myself, all by myself. So if you're finding it weird,
will be for naught.
Really, you get first go? That's just rude. Actually, they get first everything. That is just rude. Alright, come on. Speed it up, boys. However, we now have a full crew. And yes, Erdiet is still here with us. For now. For now. Let's go for this one because it is the closer. We'll get that one at least. This one. I knew what I was looking for. I think we're good. Oh yeah. We are on the ball. Okay, until this one came in. Well, that had some move. Some move. Wait, what? Forgive me, I haven't recorded in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Yeah. Oh wow. Is that all our movement? Okay, I expected these enemies of humanity to be a lot difficult, but clearly they are not. Oh, what's this all about? I don't know what that is all about. But we've got warp rifts. That's not good. Now don't go in the warp rift. I actually don't know what this is about. This is new. Ooh. Okay, I have some moves. Some movement. Oh, another one's appeared. That's not good. Oh, we can't go through those. Okay, that's good to know. Kind of makes sense if we can't go through it, but...
Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
Oh, I was kind of hoping not to hesitate. What if we do a little jumpy jump? Okay, that got us a little closer. But... what does that do? Oh, it gives me more. Okay. Oh, we can, like, completely go nuts and, like, have all the torpedoes? All the torpedoes! No, don't do it. I was gonna say, don't go in there. Don't do it! Oh,
The unfaithful foe.
that's unfortunate. That's rude.
I ravel at the spectacle of their
Dead?
glittering
Dead.
Worthy contribution to Lady Theodora's legacy.
Well, we didn't start the video with death. I am proud. Plan of action after this is... because I thought we would stop off and have a little funsies and do some exploration. Oh, no, hold on. By the arduous labor and unbreakable spirit do his faithful servants fuel hundreds of imperial worlds. Their entire lives are an example of the true service of humanity. Well, I want to check out this warp gate. Lord Captain, we are passing by a construct marked on the star charts as a dimensional gate. Our augurs are not showing any suspicious energy readings. The device is dormant, thank the Emperor. I know this place. Calcazar summoned both our packs here to seal this portal to terror and woe. Much blood we did spill that day. Alas, it was not the blood of Xenos or Warpspawn, but that of the cult priest of Calcazar himself. While they were working on the gate's foul machines, the breath of evil coming from the other side was turning them into frenzied monsters. What is this gate? An ancient Xeno artifact, older than humanity itself. Judging by its design, this is a gate leading somewhere. Possibly straight into the wicked abyss of the warp, considering all the nasty shit that used to roam around here. Many captains, her ladyship Theodora included, have tried to reveal its secrets, but it seems that no one could figure out how it works. Good for them, if you ask me. What was Theodora interested in? Her ladyship didn't exactly share her plans with us. Always kept them close to her chest. But I'll go out on a limb and say she was searching for a way to open a gate and see what was on the other side. Cognizant's fleet conducted its own analysis of the Xeno artifact. All records of this expeditions to the site were added to the exploration catalogue. Nasty in what way exactly? I don't want to repeat the rumours, and I don't know the truth, but it was bad. There was word of ships and even whole trade convoys disappearing. Captains started avoiding the system until eventually the Lord Inquisitor came here and made short work of it. There hasn't been much in the way of rumours ever since. Actually, the Inquisition made sure Voidsmen kept their mouths shut. Whatever the gate used to spew out, it must have been profane and a danger to humanity. No report received. We live to serve, Lord Captain. I wish to study this construct. Lord Captain, I would advise against approaching the gate. The Inquisition has declared the entire area around it off limits and packed it with mines. Our augurs won't be able to detect them. Oh, okay. Gonna have to ignore it. Consider it done. However, it is definitely something that I think we're going to come back to. You know, it would be rude not to. Like I said, I think now is a good time to head down to Footfall and actually, you know, figure out what the Inquisitor is up to. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, where are we exactly? So we're gonna have to go. Oh, I'm proud of us. No warp problems, but this one's not gonna be so. Oh, okay. Go down here. And while we're in the area, since we haven't looked at the Omicron, ooh, visions in the dark. Let's visit here. I don't know what here is. Let's visit here. I know. Yeah, adjust my hair because I can't wear my hair like that. I have to wear it to the side. Not explored. The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire settlement is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. Your augurs detect the frameworks of 3 other similar structures that were never completed, and for whatever reason, the dome's systems failed, and left behind is the city, a ghost that never managed to become a proper colony of the Imperium. I'll send out a crew to explore the city's temple district. Got some trophies. The temple district is situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor statue, intricately carved from precious crystal, is suspended beneath the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set off to explore the area with renewed vigor. Soon enough, they stumbled upon an ancient weapon lying on a pedestal, wreathed in sunlight. The expedition brought it back to the ship and told many tales about how the Emperor himself, who had been watching them from above, had directed their attention to the sacred relic. Blessed bolter casing. And then some holy gifts. Okay. Order the scouts to gather as many supplies as possible. Your people flooded the city like a tidal wave, filled buildings after buildings, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, and received from its quiet streets just as quickly. There were plenty of useful things among their findings, including foodstuffs and weapons. Gonna drain the remaining fuel from the generators. The city won't need them anymore. It takes several trips to deliver the massive Promethean storage tanks to your vessel. The crew grimly points out that the colony was running out of fuel. Had the life support systems not failed prematurely, the locals would still have perished due to lack of energy. Explore the local palace. The lavishly decorated estate of the local ruler towers over rows of featureless bunkhouses. Several explorers perished from cleverly hidden tripwires in the courtyard, but after losing their companions, the team easily disarmed the remaining traps in the estate. Anything of value had been promptly delivered to the rogue trader's vessel. The Lord Captain was even given an exquisite sword found in the secret cache that once belonged to the mansion's owner. Ghost sword. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I seize it. Artificial object. We haven't had any extractions for ages. I'm a bit concerned that maybe I'm not going to get any more. All usual noises on the bridge cease when the shadow of a gigantic void ship seemingly appears out of nowhere. Sails past the stained windows. It seems forlorn. The hull is tarnished, the lumen's dead, and the windows are broken and shrouded. The auger crew can't recognize the signature of its silent engines. They only manage to shed some light onto its decrepit hull and make out the faded name of the cruiser. Queen's Lament. The Voxmaster reports break the somber silence. We've just received a Voxcast from the dead void ship. Accept the signal. Ooh. Vigdis conducts a full Vox system check and reports that the communications are in order, even though only eerie, unnatural silence can be heard through the Vox. Worried murmurs sweep across the bridge. The officers are certain you've encountered the void ship of the old ghost stories. The Queen's Lament has appeared countless times in all corners of the Imperium, and like a ghost, it manifested out of nowhere, and just as mysteriously vanished into the darkness of space, taking with it those who dared to board. The Queen's Lament. You've heard that name before. The void ship was destroyed by Xenos in one of the violent battles of the Expanse over 3 millennia ago. They say that its captain was a devout and vengeful man. You know what? I can't help myself but want to explore a ghost ship. And send some scouts. The shuttle carrying the soldiers docks with the Queen's Lament without impediment. Using the disbarment blueprints of other Imperial cruisers, the scouting party sets out to the bridge, following the dark, unpowered corridors that somehow retained oxygen and gravity. The nervous voice of the operator erupts through the Vox. The crew is still on board. But what's this? Blurry silhouettes of people with torn off limbs, cut open bellies and twisted faces are materializing and vanishing all around in ghastly flashes. The ghosts promise the unwelcome guests that they will stay on board the Queen's Lament forever. Raising his voice to shout, the operator reports that his comrades are already dead, and soon it will be his turn. The augurs are telling you a different story. All of the scouts are alive and still moving forward. Order the operator to pull himself together. Soldiers must be prepared to face even the most terrifying space horrors. How good are we? Yeah. An anxious prayer to the Emperor is whispered over the Vox, and for a moment the operator falls silent, and suddenly returns, mumbling excuses about his imagination playing tricks on him. His comrades are still walking ahead of him, alive and well, and the void ship looks completely empty again. After a few minutes of silence, a child's cry can be heard through the Vox. The stuttering operator reports that his friends and families of the members of the scouting party are blocking the way. The friends and family who've all been taken by death. The soldier confirms that they're not seeing ghosts, but living people made of flesh and bone. The soldiers are begging the road traders to let them talk to their loved ones for a moment. Oh, we're not very good with Warlorp. I'm going to order the squad to proceed under threat of tribunal. Scouting party disjointed mumbling is replaced by firm shouts of "Yes, Lord Captain." The operator reports that the deceased are retreating into the darkness, their empty eye sockets lit up with the blue malicious flame. Half an hour later, the Vox comes to life once again. The operator flatly reports that the scouting party has reached the bridge. The cognigators are broken, so extracting any data from them seems impossible. The scouts have found a strange object in the captain's chair. They can't describe it, only saying that this shouldn't be here. In his usual flat voice, devoid of emotion, the operator completes his report. The way to the bridge took 16 hours and 41 minutes. The soldiers are exhausted and would like to rest for some time. Confused, Vigdis notes that only half an hour has passed outside the Queen's Lament. I'm going to order the squad to retrieve the unknown object and withdraw immediately. The Voxcast stops abruptly, and a few minutes later, the scouting party's shuttle leaves the Queen's Lament. The void ship itself dissolves into the darkness of space, and the shuttle arrives carrying a single passenger, the operator, clutching a strange parcel. The young man's hair has turned white, and after a time spent on the cursed vessel, he has lost the ability to speak. His story and rumours of what happened to the other scouts will live on for many years in hushed whispers across every deck of your void ship. Ooh, spooky. I don't know what item we got, though. The magnetic storm raging above the planet blurs the gaze of augur arrays. Only truly powerful divinum machines may see through the current of magnetic fluctuations in their blessed vigil and discover the mysteries of this emperor-forsaken planet. Oh, well, maybe we will return here someday. Oh, ghost stories. I do like them, but I wonder what he brought back. Did it say? I don't know. Okay, so let's go back here. Like I said, we are heading to Footfall. The duty officer reported an incident in the shuttle repair bay. The security team was dispatched in response to a distress signal. But when they arrived, they discovered that the shuttle repair crew had doubled in number. Somehow, every crew member now had an identical twin, but each assured the enforcers that they were the real one. The enforcers immediately opened fire, killing everyone in the bay. The duty officer awarded the squad a commendation for their vigilance and efficiency. Okay. Who am I to argue? So if we go here, then we go here, and then, yeah, okay. Wait, can we go straight here? We can. It makes no difference. Okay, we have arrived at Footfall. Or we will be arriving at Footfall. I dare say that the Inquisitor is going to want to speak to me. Lord Captain, we have received a Vox message from the Footfall. The Inquisition has declared martial law in the station due to the threat of the Malleus Extremis. Docking will require special permission, and even most of the asteroids have been cordoned off. The station's custodian, her ladyship Incedia Chorda, sends her greetings and invites her ladyship to disembark on at the docks with a small retinue. Her enforcers will meet you there to escort to another chamber for a private audience. What other options for landing on Footfall do we have? We have none, Lord Captain. The augurs are reporting that all docking gates not watched by the enforcers are locked and rigged with explosives. Very well, let's take a look at Footfall's new hospitality. As you wish, Lord Captain. Gosh, I disappear for a little while and they take over. Just like mold. Well, let us go. Yeah, this seems spot on. This is who I'm bringing. I wonder what's like. I still think we're gonna get accused of killing your Winter Scale guy, even though I actually originally thought he was gonna be like in on it. Clearly, he's not in on it, but I did feel like that we're gonna get blamed for him. Oh my god, this chair is so squeaky. I do. I feel like we're gonna get blamed for his death. Okay, are we ready, steady? Alright, what is wrong with my keyboard? There you go, it's back again. I've been pondering getting a wired keyboard. You too may find yourself at the center of an investigation, rogue trader. What investigation?
Is there money to be made?
Losing a sage is a heavy blow to the Lord Inquisitor's circle. Finding a replacement for Emelina will be a challenge. I would...
Oh dear. Things are not going very well in Footfall then. The Inquisition has truly arrived. Yep. Yep. They did truly arrive.
Options open.
Wait, let's go Doloroso. He can help us. Say help us. Aeronymous gaze is alight with awe. He breathes in the smell of burnt flesh and the promethium and says to you, "Behold, noble Titania von Shire, as Footfall transforms before your very eyes. In the wake of your toils, this den of depravity will once again become a testament to the Emperor's greatest, as was its original design. Does it bring you delight?" Oh, give him the diary of the captain of the Wasteland Wayfarer. Your expedition perished. He studies the diary for a while in silence and then says grimly, "Captain Verkel was a kind but fallible man. So was my brother in service, Gravik. So were the 4,822 pilgrims who boarded the Wasteland Wayfarer many years ago. It grieves me that their kindness failed the test that the void presented them with. Let their deaths serve as a reminder to us. Corruption has many faces and can stain even the purest of souls. Thank you for the news, Lord Captain. Colony Minoris is hereby officially declared fallen and lost." Can we move our conversation to a place more befitting of people of our rank? Why, for a missionary, his temple is the patch of a deck beneath his feet. From where I stand, I can clearly see the life of my flock. All its bustling and blooming and wilting. Here I can see their vile urges, futile hopes, and flashes of sincerity. If I were in the habit of locking myself in a temple, would I have made it in time to intervene in the massacre of your subjects from Kiavagama? No. Truth resides not in the golden halls, but here in the square among the people. Golden halls are home to others, far filthier. Okay. I don't think there's much to talk to him then. Okay. I was kind of hoping that maybe he would have some... Okay, hold on. What is wrong with this keyboard? Ah, keyboard! Blasphemy. Heresy. Piracy. Did I do that? Is this my doing? I don't think this is my doing. Savior Janice. Okay. I don't think this is my doing. I didn't do this.
The machine god grants me insight.
Keep your wits about you.
Oh, here goes. Chorda. Have mercy, our families are starving. We only took a couple of Nutri-bars. Lies. I see clearly with my naked eye the corruption that has engulfed your nature. Only the cleansing fire can absolve you now. Guilty! Jeez. Lady, calm your... up the crackers. Oh, wow! This guy's taking it rather well, though. Is this fire cleansing enough for you, you crazy hag? The Emperor protects me. Guilty, burn him. Okay. This is not how you rule the world. Incendia Chorda is absorbed in reading a long strip of parchment. Her left hand is holding a silver spoon, with which she is carefully scooping up brain matters from an open skull of a man contorted next to her. Titania von Shire von Valancius. I was informed of your arrival. Exhaustion has marked Incendia's features with a crisscross of lines and deeper furrows. Her cheek is forever twisted in a continuous nervous tick. Yet her eyes are ablaze with an indomitable resolve. A dazzling aura of power and righteous fury surrounds her like a mantle. She gracefully brings a cold-plated inhaler to her lips, takes a deep breath, and the fire in her gaze flares like a plasma thruster. What is this abominable act his daughter is committing? The Sister of Battle whispers incredulously as she stares at Chorda's monstrous feast. There must be a reason. Let us look closely. One look at Incedia's full-dress uniform shows that it has not been changed in many days. The collar is greasy and the braid trim is stained with sweat. The air is tinged with a smell of inhaled stimulant that is used to give the serfs the ability to work multiple watches without rest. She pointed at the man with the open skull. What is that? Incedia sinks a silver spoon into the man's brain and slowly consumes the revolting morsel. I must know the taste of a criminal's faults. It is how I learned to recognize their patterns. Wait, what? Lady Hannibal, what are you doing? This is not how you know bad person's faults. You don't eat them. That is disgusting, unspeakably so. A pure soul cannot conceive or fathom the workings of an unrighteous mind. The weak embrace their ignorance, while the strong banish it. If only you knew what it was like to be familiar with every shade of corruption that lurks in depraved souls. Something wild sparks in her pale eyes. No, not the first thing about perceiving it, sensing it, peering into people's souls and seeing the heinous errand. You do not know what it is like to look at their faces and see the brand of their impious deeds. But I know it all too well, and none shall escape my wrath. I have encountered sanctioned death cults that practice cannibalism as part of their way of praising the Emperor. A surprisingly large number of them harbored heresy within. You have suspicions about me? Well, it is your duty to suspect. But do your eyes see any trespass here? No, I have committed no malfactions against him. What matter of slaughterhouse is this? Some atrocious travesty of justice? Incedia jerks her chin up and responds haughtily. This is true justice, unprejudiced, inescapable, and equally merciless to all. The Lord Inquisitor has bestowed upon me the honor of bringing order to this cesspool of pirates and heretics, to rid footfall of the corruption that has fettered its limbs and turned this imperial station into a hotbed of free-thinking and inefficiency. I will not rest until all has been judged. Incedia studies you with a predatory smile. Oh, it must have been the Emperor's providence that brought you here to my court. It would be my pleasure to indict you for the crimes you have committed. I have just broken out. Hold on. I have just broken out after being held captive by the Xenos in Comora, and butchering my way through scores of enemies of humanity. Tell me, am I truly the greatest enemy of the Imperium you've been able to find? That you loathed and feared by enemies of humanity does not make you pure in the eyes of the Emperor. Perhaps he saw fit to set you on a different path, one of the righteous genocide and blood-soaked redemption for your faults. I would never dare to gainsay his will. So what happened between you and Winterscale? Winterscale is a traitor. While the Expanse burns and ravaged by the heretics and unhallowed sinners, he abandoned his duty completely, and had the nerve to ignore the Lord Inquisitor's call to battle. My servants are capturing his worlds and ships while he hides from his reckoning, indulging his base urges. Soon enough, he too will stand before judgment. Have you and Caligos lost your minds? The Expanse is in a calamitous state, and you two are busy settling scores. You must cease this at once. Negotiating with that mad dog is off the table now. He will merely laugh at your talk of reconciliation, execute your envoys. For too long has the Caligos revelled in the impunity and believed himself the king of his worlds. So are you in charge of Footfall now? Indeed I am. When the Lord Inquisitor acted in martial law in the Expanse, I offered him my support at once. Footfall was chosen as the Lord Inquisitor's headquarters, and the position of Footfall's liege was temporarily abolished for the duration of this war, or perhaps longer than that. All authority has transferred to the station's warden, to me. While the Lord Inquisitor is preoccupied with matters of strategic planning, I am tasked with overseeing the security and order. And there is much to do on that front. Pirates and smugglers, apostates and cult traders, deserters and outlaws, every one of them warrants attention. Incedia cracks her neck, which must have grown stiff after so many hours of reading before picking up another sheet. Everywhere you look, servants are buckling under heavy stacks of new denunciations, warrants and other documents. I can tell you're quite popular with the locals. Oh, this attempt was mediocre for far from the first. But my enforcers and my throne keep me safe. Incedia pats an armrest and smiles. It's a refractive field, impervious even to tank shells. That thief, Torcara, had this sacred Dastulian relic stashed in one of his storerooms. And whom is it you are judging? All of them. Thieves, smugglers, pirates, traitors, heretics, deserters, abettors, harbourers, cowards, and predators. Any who have ever trespassed, any who have ever protected a miscreant or kept quiet about a crime they knew of, they're all will be condemned. With an obsessive determination, Incedia starts going through her papers, seemingly no longer aware that she is doing so. More and more new convicts are being granted the great boon of undergoing servitude in Imperatrius, and having rid themselves of a reprehensible consciousness of serving the Imperium free from doubt and weakness, Footfall will once again become a bastion of law and righteousness. I will eradicate all heresy that prevents the faithfulness from giving themselves over to the good of the toiling in his name. And how long has your court been in session already? Incedia seems slightly perplexed by your question. She starts moving in signed sentences from one stack to another and then says uncertainly, 3 weeks. The court carries on day and night, so my sense of time eludes me. There is nothing just about this trial. Your accusations are contrived, and their purpose is simply to turn the entire population of Footfall into a pilot of automatons. Do you think that I find enjoyment in this? Looking at vileness upon vileness, listening to one excuse after another. I loathe this and despise every malefactor out there. If I were weak of will, I would have obliterated this foul station with nuclear fire. Instead, here I am to offer each of them the right to be judged in his name and the chance to return to his fold renewed. The universe is a terrifying place. We are surrounded by the arch-enemy's machinations and Xena's scum who would deny us our right to exist. The threat is inconceivable. Human weaknesses will not help us avert it. If a man is weak, I rid him of his spinelessness and feebleness, endowing him with the sacred narrowness of mind and eradicating all that prevents him from utilizing his whole life in the service of the Imperium. She is not lying. You can tell by her eyes and her voice, trembling with earnest faith, that Incedia genuinely believes in every word she just said. And what makes you think you are entitled to govern this place as you see fit? Oh, such is the law of Footfall. Any rogue trader who arrives here assumes the right of absolute authority. Surely it's not that thug Takara who deserves to rule the station. He will soon be hanging from a noose, and so will his Casablancan henchmen, and so will those Enver firebrands whose outrageous activities brought Footfall to so much grief. She looks at you with a gloating smirk. Once you hindered my effort to subdue the station, and yet here I am now, dispensing justice to the wicked. I only regret that I was unable to begin sooner. Then Takara's troublemakers would have already been crushed, instead of lurking in cargo bays and maintenance tunnels. Well, regardless, I will deal with them soon enough. Where is the Lord Inquisitor? In the Legion's chamber, coordinating the Expanse's defense. His attention is focused on matters of vital importance, and he is not seeing any supplicants. The soldier wearing the inquisitorial armor echoed Incedia's word. Your ladyship cannot see the Lord Inquisitor now. However, he bade to inform your ladyship that he will summon you later when circumstances permit. We shall see whether Footfall will thank the Emperor for your reign. In due time I shall weed out all the taint that has bred here on Footfall for so long, and then the pious fear, loyalty, and devotion will once again become the pillars of the stations under his watchful eyes. Enough. I didn't mean to click it. Wait! You have a duty to the Emperor that you must see to. Vladimir Torker, the implorable rebel who once ruled the station, has slipped from my grasp. He is inciting the people to revolt, killing my servants and hiding from my wrath with the dexterity of a void rat. My informers claim he often appears in that den of unrest that bears the irreverent name, the Adeptus Ammassicus. We have made several attempts to arrest him, yet he has evaded capture each time. Reverend Hieronymus has gone there to convince him to surrender quietly, but his efforts have likewise been unsuccessful. In the interest of Footfall's integrity, Takara must be apprehended. As a rogue trader in authority, I order you to aid me in bringing him to justice. The asteroid where the Adeptus Ammassicus is located has been cordoned off, but my enforcer will take you there. I want you to lure Takara out of his hole and seize him so that he may stand trial. Do this for the sake of Footfall's liberation and pave the world that my justice will tread. You pronounce Vladimir as a criminal? Why wouldn't I? That vile rogue's infamy is known to all. He patronized thieves, smugglers, and pirates, and by his leave heresies and unholy cult flourished. That he was evaded punishment this long can only be described as gross negligence, which I intend to rectify in short order. Why did Hieronymus go to the Adeptus Ammassicus? Reverend Hieronymus headed where the rebels are seen most often, so he could preach to them and sway them to repent. Alas, he still cannot see the difference between those who have erred and those who are beyond any hope of redemption. Some of the people you wish to execute are useful to me. I purchased valuable equipment from them. The scoundrels and thieves will be replaced by honest suppliers. Even degenerates such as the Casablanca can be of some use in the coming crisis, but their willful leaders need to be replaced with more pliable and trepidatious successors. It is the only way for us to protect ourselves from being stabbed in the back. What do I stand to gain? Does it not satisfy you that the order of the Imperial compliance will be restored on Footfall? I see you learn too much from Theodora, namely her hubris, greed, and indifference to duty. I will drag Vladimir before this court. Wink, wink. Your corroborations will be noted, Titania von Shire. But remember, Incedia's eyes flashed manically. None of the rebel leaders are allowed to die before their trial. I forbid you to execute them without my leave. That woman. Wow, I really wish Winterscale had survived.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Like, I really want Winterscale to be alive. Falling asleep during his watch, hadn't slept in a week, even the stimulant stopped working. Wait, he's here to be charged with falling asleep? Can we take this off? Stop, just stop. Knifed a patrol in the docks who could have known he brought friends along. I mean, fair enough, but...
Let us not dawdle.
So, where am I heading then? Okay. Where am I heading? Wait. There's so many... Well. No, we're going backwards.
I always have a backup plan.
Jeez. This isn't going very well. Okay. This isn't going very well. She has this place in complete and utter... Like, I believe that fear is definitely a great tool to use, but... Now on footfall. With footfall, I feel like it's money. Hello, Fug. Monsters burned an entire section of the living quarters yesterday. There'll be no mercy for them. See, this is what I mean. You just... This sort of violence is just going to cause more violence. You're so tough about your pals, are you, Filth? I think that's who we're going to talk to. I also feel that... I can't actually look up there anymore. You have no other options, Ryza. If you abandon Footfall to Chorda and flee, where are you going to sell your goods? Or restock your supplies? It will just be a slow death for all of you, with no ammunition, no water, and no air. So quit bargaining for a fate and stick to the plan. Plan? More like a suicide pact. You have no allies, no weapons, no nothing. Vladane and Ryza notice you, and the old pirate grins sarcastically. You're a runt trying to play with the big boys, Vekamo. You've taken on a rogue trader dynasty with only a handful of heavies and a couple of guns to your name. The way I see it, your march to the gallows is more of a gallop. Turning away from Ryza, Vladime's expression does not change, but an instinct curse falls from his lips. Oh, don't mind me. Do carry on. You are hard to ignore, your ladyship. You have a habit of radically altering the state of affairs of whatever situation you wade into. Greetings, your ladyship, and as for you, Vekamo, I've got nothing to add. Your plan's utter crap. I don't gamble on those kinds of odds. I'll leave you to think about your prospects, but maybe you'll realize that using my shuttle would be a better idea, while me and my shuttle are still here. I'll look at Vladane. I'm looking at him. Can't see much of him, but I'm looking at him. The formalist looks angry and focused. His coat collar is unbuttoned, showing the meshwork of ceramite-reinforced armor hidden underneath. He's wearing a gun holster on his side, and now that Vladane has thrown off the mask of disgruntled bureaucrat, his sleeves are rolled up, showing his old bandit tattoos. He exudes an aura of imperious cruelty. How is the station faring? It's turned into a kingdom of death, executing protesters, cracking down on corrupt traders, and suppressing dissent are all good. Useful policies within reasonable limits. I've used them myself, in fact. However, with Lady Chorda, reasonable limits are distant memory of at this point. Unfortunately, I'd been preparing for the turn of events ever since that hag tried to take footfall the first time. You helped us then, giving me time to organize. I set up weapon caches, enlisted more fighters, and deleted my agent's data from the Cognigator's network. When Chorda seized power, she thought she'd won, but the station was still mine. To an extent. My little army is waging war on the enforcers. We slaughter patrols, wrestle back detainees, and punish those who collaborate with the enemy, or are close to someone who does. Vadame's ruthless smile is like a jagged steel trap. Incedia is conducting her reprisals, and I am conducting mine. Everyone must remember that there are consequences for collaborating with the occupying force. What a sorry sight, the old outlaw hounded and hiding like a rat. The Dane presses his lips into a thin line. I got into all manner of situations when I was a young man, including desperate ones. This rat has been cornered more than once before, but it always got out of that corner and its belly full of its hunter's flesh. I assure you, I have no intentions of re-engaging on my old principles. Your ladyship, you may have a little love to spare for me, and you certainly have not built a strong alliance with the organization I represent. That's fair. But if seeing the new order of things in football gives you even the tiniest suspicion that it's all damned madness, step in and help me to stop. What kind of help do you expect from me? A general uprising will be doomed to fail. The enforcers have isolated the asteroids. We can't strike out against Incedia. She has the greater numbers, and her throne refractor field will protect her from any attack. An insidious smile appears on the leader's lips. So we'll ask her ladyship to come to us, exploiting her overconfidence. If she wants my blood, let her come and spill it. She knows we use the Damascus as our meeting place. If you let the enforcers know I can be found and grabbed in here, she will come. And she will hardly drag her throne with her. We'll lure her into a trap, kill her, and take back footfall. And why would I take part in that? Because the critically important station in the Expanse is about to become a graveyard. Once commerce dies, merchants will turn to piracy. What else could they do? Connections between worlds will be weakened, since Chorda will make short work of the astropaths as soon as she gets to them. And Chorda, do you think footfall will be enough for her? No. She'll march on, perhaps to your worlds as well. Besides, your ladyship has not yet considered the possibilities that working with the Casablanca mission opens up. Now is the perfect moment for you to gain a new ally in a time of crisis. Every friendship is valuable. Incedia Chorda has nothing to offer you. While my organization's gratitude is guaranteed, between losing an influential partner and strengthening your ties with them, I'm sure you'll opt for the latter. And what forces do you have at your command? However much Chorda would like to believe she's kicked the Casablanca out of footfall, she hasn't. We're scattered all over the station, lying low, and there's still enough of us to cause trouble. A small band of my most daring staff members who were by my side when I came to power, business partners who still remember that any venture is only as reliable as the grip of the venturer's hand on their pistol. Add to that the group of Xenos mercenaries with which my colleagues from the Casablanca mission have provided me with a radical solution. I know they don't care who they kill as long as I pay them, and I have the means to pay them. We would have greater numbers if Ryza wasn't so damnly cautious, and Hieronymus did us a favour and shut his preaching trap. The dame grits his teeth and adds quietly, I would have thrown the good reverend for a loop long ago if it weren't for the fanatical mob that would show up here to avenge him. Why does Ryza have a problem with? She has misgivings about the prospect of our cooperation. The old rogue prefers not to pick fights unless her victory is foregone conclusion. And right now she seems to be planning on fleeing rather than fighting. She needs the right kind of motivation. It's a shame there's no one the cold bitch values enough for me to take hostage. Why did Ryza call you Vecamo? Old nicknames die as hard as old habits. I used to be known by that name on the station. The Vicamo is a myth, a malicious spirit stalking its prey in Footfall's empty sectors. Takara chuckles. I had a terrible reputation when I was younger. And why has Hieronymus shown up here? He preaches repentance. The dame remains stone-faced for a few seconds before giving in and letting a sarcastic smile form from his lips. Chorda sent him here to make us lay down our arms and renounce our rebellious ways. But he seems taken aback by the scale of Lady Incedia's purges, which opens up possibilities. If we were to pressure on him, he'll bring over zealots, who'll tear apart whoever he points his fingers at. A useful man. I regret not getting him on side sooner. News of Incedia's death is hardly going to please the Lord Inquisitor. Considering Calcazar has never once interfered in the station's affairs, he clearly couldn't care less about football. This means he also doesn't care who runs the station, so long as things are quiet here. I'm going to make sure things are quiet. Granted, he did give Chorda a security detail, but if she's already, Takara emphasizes the last word, dead, and her death doesn't reek of deadly heresy, he likely won't bother to investigate. The Lord Inquisitor will simply entrust the governance to someone who won't cause him problems. Someone like me. I realize it's a bold hypothesis, and the Lord Inquisitor may have me hanged for Chorda's death, but my life is at stake as it is, so I may as well take the chance. I have understood your plan. An unblinking gaze fixes upon you. I hope you will think it's promising. I would like to make a deal with the Casablanca. Regretfully, your ladyship, I have nothing to offer you at the moment. My access to the assets you're interested in has been temporarily restricted. It's going to take putting a bullet through a couple of heads for me to once again be able to offer you an adequate range of merchandise. Okay, well then, for once... I'm going to... I really don't like Chorda. I will help you overthrow Chorda. Each second of her continued rule will cost the lives of hundreds of innocent people. The Seneschal furrows his thick eyebrows. I cannot say I approve antagonizing Chorda, but her methods being what they are, I definitely disapprove of assisting her. I'm glad you're with us, your ladyship. This is a fight we must well be prepared for. As a colleague of mine used to say, if your brain doesn't hurt from all the thinking of where to hide, it'll discover even your skull isn't thick enough once the fight is on, which sounds especially ironic considering how he died. I'd like to ask your opinion on how prepared we are to entertain Lady Incedia. Perhaps some of those gathered in here will support us, Ryza's people, Hieronymus' zealots, even Octavia's regulars. We can use whomever we can. If you think that it may be worth fortifying our position or preparing a few surprises for our guests, my people and arsenal are at your disposal. All you have to do is say the word. As soon as we are ready, send Chorda a message saying I'm here. Let her come. We'll settle our differences the Footfall way, with a gunfight. Well, I will go and take a look around. We will. The dame nods attentively, then looks down at the data slate showing a map of the station's systems. He scrutinizes it with a pensive expression. I really like this tune. Right, let's go speak to... The Emperor protects young Von Valentius. What has brought you here? Perhaps you would like to confess? Repentance is the first step of the path of redemption. I'd like to see the Drusarian relics. We would never refuse our help to one who makes generous donations to our mission. So this is shop. Let's just buy a load of this. Yep. Well, we have a lot of armor kits. Ooh, we could give that to Titania. I don't want to give away too much, though. Okay. Reverend, I want to stop Incedia. Help me. Are you openly declaring your intent to move against an enactor of the Emperor's justice? And why should I, her mentor in faith, help you commit the act of treachery? Oh, we could definitely do persuasion. St. Drusus is the doctrine of redemption, but Incedia has forgotten about that. What else may she have forgotten? Indeed, her fervour frightens me. Sometimes I feel she takes pleasure in doling out punishment and revels in her own power. She has forgotten that punishment exists to purify his servants and return them to his light, so that they may continue his service. Since the slaughter is at odds with the goal, I regret never managing to drive that point home to her. Now you have banished my doubt, I will do what must be done. St. Drusus's faithful will aid you in battle. Goodbye. Well, that's good news. Chaplain. Is that just another chaplain? Stop squirming. The imposing man covered head to toe in scars is hard to mistake for anyone else. You are looking at a chaplain, confessor to the late Dens Belardo, whose funeral now seems like an eternity ago, his arms across as he surveys the room with a gloomy expression. As you approach, he bows deferentially. Your ladyship, it's nice to see that St. Drusus has protected your neck from the heretics and the Xenos since we last met. Shame how it's always sad events that bring us together. The last time was at a funeral, and now it feels like half a footfall needs a memorial service. Long time no see, chaplain. What are you doing here? Same as always, your ladyship, bringing the Emperor's light to the lowly and downtrodden. And I have my hands full here on Footfall. The station's teeming with hungry, maimed, and frightened people. His large fists clench into a twin mace heads. Her ladyship, Incedia Chorda, in her righteous zeal, doesn't see the atrocities her enforcers commit in the Shadow Quarters, using her name as their shield. I intervene wherever I can, but to be honest, I'm almost spent. Helping everyone is beyond my abilities. What is your opinion on the situation on the station? Chaplain jerks his chin up defiantly. Honestly? Perhaps this begins as cleansing, but since day one it looked more like a frenzy of fanaticism. Granted, people with a clear conscience have always been few and far between on Footfall, but is that a reason to exterminate everyone for the pettiest infractions? St. Drusus teaches us to bring people back to the Emperor's light, and only punish by death those who have crossed the forbidden line and turned away from him irrevocably. I'm my own living proof that even as thoroughly rotten scoundrel can take the path of redemption. Are we in such deep retreat from the heresy we're battling that the flamer and the noose are the only tools we have left? Shame that Reverend Hieronymus won't listen to me. He's too zealous. He sees the face of vice too clearly and finds it too abhorrent. Looking at Footfall makes him sick, and so he welcomes the cleansing. May St. Drusus help you, your ladyship. Right, let's go talk to Ryza. Octaviana looks tired, but finds strength to smile briskly. She pours 2 shots of a clear yellowish liquid with streaks of promethium in it and slides one towards Ryza. Let's drink to her infallible ladyship Chorda's mercy and good judgment wherever they may be right now. Ryza downs a shot, grimacing in satisfaction. You've quite the way with words, Octi. Yes, indeed, one would hate it if Lady Chorda's ill health affected our own. Have you, by any chance, run into Lady Chorda's good judgment on your journeys, your ladyship? The pirate laughs hoarsely. Got anything strong, Octaviana? For you, always, my lady. A dusty but finely made greenish bottle with a wax seal appears at the bar. Lord Winterscale's favourite blend. So good it's not entirely legal. However, during his last visit, his lordship told me to put a bottle aside until he returned. And who knows if he'll ever return here now. It would be a waste. Well, here's to the fall of Incedia Chorda. Your courage and forthrightness are admirable, my lady. Down with Chorda! Did she leave my ship? I didn't realize Jay had left my ship. Have you seen Jay? She left my ship and has not been seen since. Really? I did not. Do you know what? I didn't know she'd left. Octaviana rubs her jaw augment anxiously. The city girl went off on her own to get her people out of Falco's clutches. I told her to wait a little till we sorted out our current business. Then we could have bled him together. But no, not Hidari. That one's as stubborn as a herd of groxes. She said her guys didn't have that much time, and then she vanished. How have you been faring here without me? Badly. But we're in no mood to lie down and die yet. There are still people who can't stand Chorda's regime, and they are fighting. A sting a day, always somewhere new. Vlade may be on the run, but he still has people loyal to him. He'd have had more if it weren't for the Reverend Hieronymus. Many have fallen for his sermons and taken to repenting and confessing. He turned so many to the faith that they don't dare touch him anymore. The old man's a force to be reckoned with now. Are you not afraid the enforcers will come for you eventually? Octaviana smiles tenderly. If they show up, I'll blow up the martyr's endurance before I let those butchers take me alive. And for now, I'll be behind the bar, refueling my roughnecks. It's a rotten thing for a captain to abandon a ship, isn't it, your ladyship? Some captain. If I were you, I'd scram while the scramming's good. I know you're attached to the Armescius, but the whole isn't worth dying for. I have a shuttle hidden away nearby, so we could take off right now. Give it a rest, Ryza. I'm not holding you here, so stop trying to drag me away with you. Octaviana, we have a plan to stop Chorda. Your help would be welcome. The woman looks at you pensively. And by we, you mean you and Vladimir? He always has a plan, but it's certainly not always the best plan. Why should I trust your idea? How about a deal? Help me, and I will let you use my name for commercial purposes. The Adeptus Amascius, the favorite bar of the rogue trader. Is that not generous? In Mass Effect, I am the rogue trader, and this is my favorite bar. It is generous, your ladyship, very generous. If we don't all get killed, the Amascius will be flooded with thrones. All right, then, it's a deal, but I have one condition. Write me a document saying that your heirs have no right to go back on the promise, because, as you can understand, if this doesn't work, there'll be a new rogue trader von Valancius in the very near future. I don't have any fighters, but I do have a shipment of Xenos weapons, lethal, but no guarantee of quality. Figuring out how it even works is tricky enough. But that still beats the junk the Dame thugs are armed with. They can have a round on the house. Ryza and I need to have a little chat. Ryza casts a glance at Octavia's direction, awaits for her to take the hint, and looks away, and then says, At your ladyship's service. I am interested in the Fellowship of the Void's wares. I am interested, but I think this isn't the best time for it. Xeno's artifact, I think I have like a bajillion of these. I think this is the first time we're trading as well. So it should be interesting. Do we have any more? give us a little bit more. So I've missed out by not coming back to Footfall and, you know, fully exploring. And, you know, like cooperating with a lot of people. Ooh, new sword. Wonder what the max level is. Okay. Let's have a little chat. Okay, so Vladane needs your help. Your ladyship. His so-called plan is nothing but a death throes of a cornered and condemned man who's grasping at imaginary straws. De Vecchimo was once smart, shrewd, and wily, and now he's simply refusing to admit he's already lost. We modest dealers are no match for a rogue trader. It would be different, of course, if we were strongly motivated or had a rogue trader on our side. Ryza looks you straight in the eye, her meaning quite clear. Oh, spoken like a cowardly crone, not a dread pirate captain. Ryza's eyes flash and she scowls. Don't talk to me like that, your ladyship. The times we're living in, barely anyone has the expanse remembers who old Ryza is. I'm not getting any respect anymore, and that means they need a reminder. And they're going to get one. Oh, what the warp. My crew and I will take part in your little uprising, but don't ask me for details. Oh, Ryza prefers to keep quiet about the behind-the-scenes workings of her insidious and sudden strikes. Then I have nothing more to say. It's an honor for old Ryza to have a conversation with your ladyship, just like that. Well, I'll leave you to your conversation. Is there anyone else we should be speaking to? Dreadful Xenos. Hello. Suspicious prowlers. And just kind of, you know, citizens. 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 I feel like I haven't been this... Oh, I feel like I never even bothered going this way.
Is there money to be made?
Little... Oh. Order for the barricades to assemble out of the rubbish. Oh, okay.
Both strong and wise is Ulfar.
So we've got ourselves some barricades. Oh, good. Steal all the stuffs. But having a little dander around actually was a good idea. Come on, Pascal, you got this. Menu system of the adaptive cement looks eerily similar to the design of the internal scan of the fuel compartment. I hate how quick that goes. Someone has inserted new data into the void ship's cognate left over from ancient times. Okay.
Authorized.
I do want to dander around now and just kind of make sure that we've...
A space wolf never
I always keep my options open.
order mine to be set here. Okay. Like, am I about to, like, should I be... Order the fuel barrels are placed throughout the room.
Was
Very
that
nice
supposed to be a
explosion.
challenge?
Okay. Okay, I think we're almost ready. Means there's gonna be big fights. Oh, good. Oh, good. So just
Keep your wits about you.
now that I know that there's things to keep an eye out for. Corrose. What are we corrosing here?
Nothing's impossible.
Candle
for
used
this
to contain
old officer.
asthmatic for the sake of attracting has been obviously enriched with deodorizing. Okay, I think we are ready. I think we're ready.